Hi everyone, Teddy with Materio here. Today I'm going to show you a new feature, which is the ability to add a sales tax rate onto your billable hours when you go to actually invoice your client for those hours. So you've always been able to add sales tax onto a regular project scope. This is just adding an additional feature to let you also add sales tax onto your billable hourly services, which is necessary in a small subset of states. So coming in here to my invoice, I'll click Add Invoice Items, Hours Logged, and I'll go ahead and say I'm going to invoice for the first half of the month. I have some time here that I've tracked either with the timer or manually. I'm going to come in, select all of these time entries to invoice my client for, and now there's a new column here, which is the sales tax column. I can go ahead and say that by clicking up in this header, I'm going to set a 10% default sales tax rate. That's just the default. If for any reason some things are not taxable or anything like that, you can always come in here and zero some things out, or even set some things to a different rate altogether, but really don't anticipate that being necessary in most cases. In most cases, you'll just set that default here and then leave it to populate automatically all the way down here. And just one more note about that. When I go to add my hours, I'm going to start over again. My sales tax rate is always going to default to 0. So by default, you're not putting any sales tax on the invoice along with your hours. You would need to actually click this and enter that default rate here and have that populate every time if you want sales tax to go on your invoice with your hours. By default, the billable hours are non-taxable in Materio. Go ahead and click Add Lines to Invoice, and you can see here that we'll give you a little hint as to how much tax you're collecting on a line-by-line basis. Additionally, all of that sales tax will come down in here to that sales tax subtotal down at the bottom. The line-by-line detail is only visible to you as the firm when you're editing this invoice. It's not going to be visible to your customer when they're actually at checkout. All your customer is going to see is this single sales tax number here in the footer. If you want to summarize your logged hours and show a little bit less information, you can still do that. Again, you'll still see that tax detail just for you, just internally to your firm. And all that your client is going to see is the sales tax total down at the bottom of the invoice. Just to show what that's going to look like to a client, I can come in here and say preview checkout. And again, the client is not going to see all of those detailed sales tax rates. They'll just see the sales tax total at the bottom when they're on the invoice checkout page. All right, that is sales tax on billable hours. Please reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever about the new feature, and thanks.